Okay, let's keep this moving here. Today is the final installment of what I'm calling the fancy run, these little more high-end, sort of classed up golden bags of Lay's chips from China. And this is then therefore going to be the last episode with the suit and tie, so enjoy it while you can because I'm going to be retiring this look after today. Now, we gotta get this shit back on track because this last couple of episodes were just been fraught with mishaps. First, we had to deal with an existential crisis and a drop in morale, and then yesterday there was a fucking choking incident. So this time I'm hoping to just get through this review without any catastrophes or disastrous, unpredicted outcomes. And the last entry in this series is again from the Spring Limited Edition from Lay's China. And this one is Mantis shrimp, salted mantis shrimp. And in the tradition of this series, it's paired with alcohol, and in this case, it's a big frothy mug of beer. And it's also garnished with some flowers for some fucking reason. Not sure where this comes from. I'm gonna guess it's Chinese. Now, mantis shrimp are kind of like big shrimp. Supposedly, I hear they're very aggressive in the wild. And they have sort of more of a lobster tail than a fish tail, and they're sort of straight instead of that curved shrimp thing. And they're a little bigger, but essentially the meat is very similar to shrimp. And here they are depicted covered in some peppers or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna pop it open. I'm guessing by the image that this is not an American dish. And the real tip-off to that is because the heads are on the shrimp. And Americans don't fuck with that shit, whereas in Asia and Europe, they don't give a fuck. They eat the head, no problem. Reminds me of that episode of The Sopranos. Pretty sure it was in season 2 where they go to Italy to do some business with some people on the other side. And they're very convinced of their Italianness and, you know, how they're going to just live like kings. And then when they get there, they actually experience quite a bit of culture shock because, surprise, being an Italian in Naples is not exactly culturally similar to being, you know, like a second or third generation Italian American in fucking New Jersey. And there's the one scene that was very sort of descriptive of that. It's sort of part of a montage, and Tony is having this meeting with this woman boss, which is also a scandal. And they're sitting on some veranda talking and eating. And I guess they're snacking on some grilled shrimp or whatever. And just one little cut, they show like them reaching for the food and putting it down. And you can see on Tony's side of the table is like all the heads that he didn't eat. And on our side, they're all gone. And that episode is filled with little details like that. And a lot of the Sopranos storytelling and the character work is done through like little subtle things with food. It's fucking brilliant. I eat the heads. I don't give a shit. I eat the shells too. Anyway, about the chips. You know, now that I think about it, it does have a little bit of that shrimp shell taste that I experienced in those ones before. The volume, it's loud. But it's just sort of like a middling pepper taste with a little shrimp flavor in there. And these are fine. These are great. Got enough taste to make it enjoyable and interesting. Not extremely exotic, but it does have the shrimp taste. They're getting better at this shit, or maybe I'm just getting a little bit more sensitive to it. And what I'm also noticing about this series of Spring Limited Edition chips is that the bags are quite generous. And that's always nice. Other than that, I don't know. These are okay. Yeah. I wish they all would copy this model and season all the chips this heavily and put this many in the bag. But anyway, I really got these because I love the bags, and I'm going to be making some action figures of those, so keep your eye out. And that's it for the fucking fancy series. Wasn't that fucking fancy? Aren't you all so happy? Aren't you entertained? Aren't you completely enthralled by me. Ah. Ah.